It's a pleasure to follow the clear, comprehensive and powerful outline of these amendments by the noble Lord Marks of Henley-on-Thames, in whose name they are tabled. And it was a pleasure to attach my name to 109 and 111. I think the case has been set out very clearly, so there's not a need for me to detain the House long. But perhaps just to note that the reason why, when I saw that no other noble lords had attached their names to this, that I did, was experiences as a young journalist in Australia many years ago, covering mostly criminal courts, but seeing there, and this of course was in the days long before there was any thought of protecting witnesses who were the victims of what we now call domestic abuse, seeing the sometimes harrowing ordeals that people had to go through. And I think the noble Lord Marks used the word ordeal. And those of us perhaps in your lordship's house, we're used to testifying, to speaking, to being in these spaces. We're talking about people who are victims of domestic abuse, who've suffered all of the personal damage that entails, but who also are people who are not used to being in these environments very often. This is, as the noble Lord Marks said, an issue of compassion, of protecting people, ensuring that we're not making victims of domestic abuse suffer again. But it is also an issue of justice, because if they are going to be able to clearly set out the case, to explain the circumstances, to bear witness, then they need to be in conditions that reasonably allow them to do that. As the noble Lord Marks said, to set a higher bar for civil proceedings than for family proceedings simply doesn't make sense. And as the noble Lord said, there are many cases in which civil proceedings will be intimately entangled with issues of family, issues of domestic circumstances. And I think here particularly of the situations of farms and some cases I've seen in the past where the acrimonious breakup of family farm businesses will often be tangled in civil proceedings, but have an intensely personal side as well. So, my lords, I think these are important amendments. They are sensible, helpful amendments, and I very much hope that the government will take them on board in the interests of compassion and justice. Thank you, my lords.